Hello everybody, how you doing today? So, oh my goodness, I am continuing with my deal that I made with you guys about getting the 150 likes and all that. So, what's going on today? Well, I've decided why not try this out. This seems like a fun, good idea for a really crappy video. And we got dart monkeys, tack shooters, snipers, ninjas, and cannons. This is the first 5 towers that you start off with, and you have 0 battle score. So I decided why not try my very best to use these 5 towers to beat as many people as possible. Now, the only difference here is, guys, I'm going to use tier 4 upgrades. So the difference here is, you know, when you first start, you can't get tier 4 upgrades. You gotta get a few medals first. I'm gonna use tier 4 upgrades, or otherwise I'm probably gonna get rocked quite a bit. Now, if I face some really newbie players, I may actually go back and try doing something a little bit different. But as of right now, this is what we're gonna have to do. So, let me check something here really fast. Sorry, guys. Oops. Okay, so hopefully we'll find a match today. My internet's been really acting up lately. I have been not connecting to even like Google and YouTube and stuff. At least last night it was like that. So hopefully it'll work out for us. So right now I'm going to start off with the boom, and boom. Lots of booms right there. Like I was saying is, my internet's been really freaking acting up, so I have no idea how it's going to go, you know, guys. If it's only like 20 minutes or something like that and my internet just starts acting up, I'm sorry, I really can't do too much about it. So we're going to start off with a tack shooter, of course. Tack shooters are actually reasonably good starting towers, so if you are a noob cake, you want to start off with tack shooter for sure, guys. Depending on the level, of course, but for the most part, I think tack shooters are probably the best way to go. Dart monkeys are also a reasonably good way to start, but cannons, maybe. That's a little bit on the iffy side. Now this guy's going with a 2-3 boomerang to start, or a 3-0 boomerang, or something like that. He's obviously a really good player. He's got a lot of battle score. So, to be honest, Yin Yang is a tough level, and especially a tough level for these new towers. So we're gonna actually probably going to lose, but we'll at least see how we're going to survive throughout the process. Now the main thing you guys need to realize is that the point of the game when you're a really big noob right now is not to actually get the best defense ever. It's actually to make the other person lose. So you want to send out one giant, huge mega rush after the person, probably on either level 12, level 8, level 12, or 13. Those are the 3 main levels that you want to deal with. Now, if you get any farther than that, you're going to have a really hard time beating most players. Because they probably have pretty good towers and better towers than you at surviving late game. But right now, with these 4 towers, we really can't survive late game really well. Now, if somebody sends out balloons versus you, you're probably going to have to start building stuff. So right now, 1 tack shooter is totally fine with me, but if he's sending out blue balloons and red balloons, I can either get a cannon, which cannons are extremely helpful in combination with tack shooters, just a regular 0-0 cannon, because no massive amounts of balloons will probably get through, or you can just go with another tack shooter, and another tack shooter, obviously another 3-0 tack shooter is going to be extremely helpful. So right now what we're doing, guys, is we're getting economy. And we're not going to go crazy ridiculous economy. I'm just holding down the 1 button and the 2 button, which are the hotkeys for the balloons. And you want to start sending out the latest balloons you possibly can, because they're going to give you the most economy. Now, one thing you do have to be careful about is if he does start sending out grouped blues or grouped greens versus me, I need to have something that I can build. So you want to make sure you have enough money to build something else if he does start sending that stuff. And now if he does start sending out grouped greens or something which can actually do damage to me, I will just build a cannon. But for right now, I still have 150 lives. He's not doing anything versus me, so I'm going to kind of chill and just go with a little bit of economy. But like I said, guys, you don't want to play really late game versus these people. So the most money you're going to have is 2 minutes after you stop sending out balloons. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stop sending out balloons, and from now on, build a bunch of towers. Make sure you don't lose any lives here. So I'm actually going to get a cannon right about here, I think is a good spot. I'll put them on close. I'm going to get another tack shooter. So we're just going to make a bunch of towers here that are just going to make us survive. So that's the point, guys. Make sure you get a really good defense for pretty much anything that could possibly come at you. So he's not going to want to send out any balloons versus me. We have a really decent economy here. We got really lucky. I think it says 555, so we got 555 economy. Kind of a lucky number, I guess. But those 3 tack shooters have a lot of popping power. Now, I don't really recommend blade shooters or anything right now. I think 3-0 tack shooters are nice and cheap, nice and effective. So just stick with the 3-0 tack shooters. Those are going to be your main popping power. Now, one thing you do have to get, though, is you have to get some sort of sniper. So, oopsie doodles, I pressed that button. So you gotta get some sort of sniper. It really doesn't matter where you put him, but put him on strong and get at least 3 upgrades. So you're gonna need a 1-2 sniper. And this is for any sort of lead camos, and it just helps out in general versus a lot of really strong towers. Or a lot of really strong balloons. And, like I said, we're already on round 9, and the next thing we want to do is see if we can kill him. So, round 8, 12, and 13 are probably the main levels when you want to see if you can kill somebody. And honestly, this guy's really good, so we're probably going to have quite a hard time killing him on those levels. We might have to go a little bit later game, but I'm just showing you guys how you should go throughout the process of actually winning games versus probably a little bit less good players, not so great players. But as you can see, we have quite a bit of money built up. So I have not been spending very much money, but I have enough stuff to kill pretty much everything. So I'm actually going to get one more upgrade for my cannon. I'm going to get a 3-2 cannon for now. And that should be good enough for me. Now he does have this village, so he has Monkey Village on, so we cannot send any sort of camo balloons versus him. But I do see a really, let's see, if he gets the 3-0 boomerang, we really don't have too much of a weakness versus him. Or really don't really have like anything that we can beat him with right now. 3-0 boomerangs are extremely good versus regrow balloons, and honestly, regrow balloons will probably not beat him. But he doesn't. Oh, he just got the 3-0 boomerang, so we wasted quite a bit of money here. He's probably actually going to kill these. But this rush will win versus a lot of people in general. It's going to be really, really hard to kill that for most players. Now, he has a lot of boomerangs, which obviously boomerangs are really, really good. And honestly, I'm probably going to lose this game just because of that. But this will work versus a lot of players. Now, when somebody has 6,000 battle score, this is probably not what you should be doing. You should probably be playing more for late game. But for the most part, guys, just go for a level 13 rush, and you'll probably win. So now what am I doing? I'm trying to catch back up, and there's probably no way I'm going to win. But if I'm going to win with something, it's going to be a Moab. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a couple Moabs versus him, and he probably won't be able to survive them. But really, realistically, he has no weaknesses, and you got to make sure you're going to survive as well. So if you're going to want to make yourself survive, one thing that's really, really helpful is either a 4-2 cannon or a 2-4 tack shooter. 2-4 tack shooter. That's an ability. So you have an ability for your tack shooter. And if balloons ever start getting by, you can actually just use that 2-4 ability, and it'll shoot blades all over the screen and kill pretty much every single balloon that will ever come. Trust me on that, guys. Pretty much every balloon on the screen it'll destroy, not including Moab balloons. And obviously you're probably going to need a couple other support towers, but for the most part it's going to destroy pretty much everything. So now he's got Moab Maulers and stuff, so he's obviously a good player. He's defending versus Moabs. He's getting ready for everything. So honestly there's really not much I can do right now. He's probably going to send a Moab versus me, and I'll just build a couple Moab Maulers for just in case here. We got some Moab Maulers here. Put 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to get just a 4-2 cannon, and that should destroy mostly everything, for the most part, on level 18. He can send a couple Moabs versus me, but he probably won't win. And if I need to, I will get a 2-4 tack shooter. So that's pretty much my defense right now. And I'd really rather play some of the players that probably aren't so great, just to show you guys how easy it is actually to win with some of these towers. But for now, we're going to have to deal with it. So the next thing is probably just to send out a nice regrow BFB attack, and that's probably your best bet. If you notice he has some Moab Maulers, usually the Moab Maulers can take out Moabs pretty easily, but BFBs are a little bit on the tougher side. And usually the Moab Maulers are just going to pop the BFBs, and then what you're going to get is you're going to get a bunch of random regrow balloons that come out that these boomerangs actually can't deal with. So I still have 150 lives. Surprisingly, actually, I was not expecting that. But the next thing we're going to do is just start sending out regrow BFBs. As soon as I can, I'm going to send out a regrow BFB and then a couple Moabs. So regrow BFB right here. We're going to try and beat him to the punch. So I sent out actually 2 regrow BFBs, and I have 0 money now. 0 money at all. So pretty much we're just hoping that those regrow BFBs will actually take him out pretty easily. And you notice my tack shooters and my 4-2 cannon are doing their work. They're actually doing fairly well. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to help out even more. I'm going to sell my sniper. I'm going to send out another regrow Moab, and he's getting a bunch of random stuff, which I don't think he'll actually be able to take down all these Moabs just yet. Now, I don't have any camo detection, so I'm really hoping that all these balloons actually go through before I need any sort of camo detection. And we do actually win that game kind of surprisingly. I was actually not expecting to win that game. He probably should have rushed me a little bit earlier, but we did fine. So now let's go and continue on. We'll play another one. And that game actually lasted almost 10 minutes with just the regular beginning 4 or 5 towers. Now, ninjas, on the other hand, of the first 4 towers that you can actually start off with, 2 of them are really good, tack shooters and cannons. Dart monkeys are fairly good. Snipers are meh. And I forget the other one. So what do we go over? Yeah, snipers are meh, but you need them. Dart monkeys are okay. Tack shooters and cannons are really good, and ninjas are kind of on the bad side. I don't recommend ninjas very much. So we'll get these guys, and we won't get ninjas. I noticed that's one thing that a lot of noobs actually do. They use a lot of ninjas, and that's not what you want to do. Not at all, pretty much. So, like I said, I've been using level 4 towers, so you just have to understand that if you don't have level 4 towers yet, the first thing you probably want to do is actually get either boomerangs or start buying 4-2 towers. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a dart monkey here, upgrade him 3 times, get him on last, and I'm going to get a tack shooter up here. So this guy is going to be my main killage popping power, and this dart monkey is going to be the cleanup. And what I want to do is start setting up balloons as soon as possible. I'm going to send out a bunch of red balloons at him. For some reason, he put his ninja right there, and that was actually the worst spot he could possibly put it in, because he probably didn't realize that balloons come out this way. So, I really hope that we don't win like this. And he's got a glue gunner at the bottom, so I feel like this guy really does not know how to play at all. He's definitely a noob cake. And we're probably going to end up winning fairly easily versus him. It's kind of sad, actually. And he's kind of, it might be me that's lagging, but one of us is lagging. So that was just kind of a little bit too easy, so we'll just play another one really fast here. I'm sorry you guys had to deal with that. Let's play another one. That guy, I mean, even if you watch my videos, I'm sorry, but that was just a complete noob move right there. I don't know what you were thinking. A glue gunner in the back is one of the worst things you can possibly do. And a ninja that could not hit all the balloons? No. Bad. Wrong. Completely wrong. How often do you win on level 1? I don't know. Not very often at all. That's the right answer. So let's find somebody who's just a little bit better than that. So this guy, of course, oh god, now we have to face somebody else who's really freaking good. So what are we going to do versus this guy? Pretty much the exact same thing. I'm just going to go with a lot of balloons. We got to get a sniper, of course. So this game, I'm actually kind of assuming that we're going to go late game just because he's such a good player, and he has 10,000 battle score. So when you have somebody who has 10,000 battle score, you know, how are you going to beat that? You know? With beginning towers. I don't know. But I have an idea. So first off, you gotta get a tack shooter somewhere. I think tack shooter's probably at least one right here, and then one right here is probably going to be extremely effective. This guy's probably gonna send out lots of balloons versus me. So I'm actually gonna get 2 upgrades here, and I'm also gonna get 2 upgrades on this side, and then I'm gonna start sending out balloons. But I need to make sure I'm sending out balloons at all times. That's the point of this strategy, guys. Send out balloons at all times. Now, if you're facing somebody, like I said, if you're facing somebody really good, just keep sending out balloons and just make sure you're able to survive. On the other hand, if you're facing somebody who's not so great, stop sending balloons right around 2.5 minutes. I think that's the best way to go with it. 2.5 minutes is a really solid time to just stop sending balloons and just start saving up money. You'll get a lot of money doing that. So now I can actually upgrade my tack shooter at least one more time here. We got 2 solid upgrades for that, and we actually did a little bit of damage, I think. Nope, we didn't do any damage. Oh yeah, we did. We did 2 lives of damage, a couple lives of damage. In general, we barely got through for whatever reason. I don't know why he started off with the tack shooter. That's probably not the best way to go in general, but hey, what are you gonna do? Everybody's got their own strategies that they think works fairly well. So, still sending out a bunch of these red balloons here, and I'm actually going to start sending out blue balloons. Like I said, guys, keep upgrading and sending out only the balloons that are the highest tier balloons. Now, the point of sending out the balloons, just in case you didn't understand from the first place, if you're kind of a noob at this game and you're just learning from this video, balloons give you this little green arrow at the bottom. Let me show you really fast. It's this little green arrow right here, which is current cash and current income. And your income goes up if you send out balloons at people. For the most part, if you send out balloons at people, your income goes up. And the more money you spend, the more money you'll get later on. So you get an income every 6 seconds that, if you keep increasing it, you'll get more money every 6 seconds. And you realistically, you gotta find a time when the difference between sending out balloons and receiving a certain amount of income is about the same, or it just equals out. And that's the best time to stop sending out balloons. So you wanna stop sending out balloons if you wanna send a huge attack out at roughly 5 minutes, stop at 2.5 minutes, because after 2.5 minutes, you get the exact same amount of income back that you sent out. And then anything after that, will just be plus income. So anything after 2.5 minutes, anything after that will be extra income that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a little bit of a complicated mechanism, I suppose. But maybe I'm just really bad at explaining it, I don't know. So now I can start sending out green balloons and stuff, but now is the case when you guys gotta start being careful, because guess what? Green balloons can actually do damage to me. Yes, green balloons can easily do damage to me. So lots and lots of green balloons will actually hurt me, but of course I have a defense for that. I have a cannon whenever I need it. So I can send out a cannon, or not send out a cannon, oh my god, I'm sounding like an idiot right now. I can build a cannon right in the middle here, I think is probably the best way to go. And if I need to, I can upgrade it to a 3-0 cannon, but at least a 0-0 cannon will help out quite a bit, a lot more than you probably think. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start saving up just a little bit of money. I need to get at least a 3-0 cannon for future levels here, because he can send out a bunch of stuff that actually kills me on level 8. A bunch of stuff. So regrow blacks and whites and stuff like that, those can actually kill me, and regrow yellows as well can kill me. So you gotta build something. So level 8, guys, that's the level where you gotta start being a little bit on the careful side. As far as his towers go, he's kind of got weird and bad towers in general. So I wouldn't really recommend going with the exact towers that he's going with. But now I can actually build, since I have a 3-0 cannon, there's really not too much that's going to kill me at the moment. Currently, there's really not too much that I can think of. Yeah, we're okay. So, I'm actually getting quite a bit of economy here. I'm actually going to stop at 900 and start building stuff that I think will help me survive. So, for example, I'm actually going to build a couple more attack shooters, get a sniper, and get some camo detection in general. So, 2-3 dart monkeys are your best camo detection for right now. 2-3 dart monkeys are your best camo detection for right now. For when you don't have a lot of good towers. So we're actually going to get quite a few 2-3 dart monkeys. And this is going to be our main camo detection, but also one thing you have to watch out for as far as camo detection goes is lead camos. So what you want to do is get at least one sniper, put him on strong, and upgrade him to a 1-2. Now that's important for pretty much all the strategies with these new balloons, because the lead camos can kill pretty much everything. But other than that, go with some dart monkeys. Quite a few of them actually. Because any sort of camos can actually get through, and also these guys are just in general good at popping power. So what can kill him right now? Not too much. So normally I told you guys just save up your money and go for a huge regrow rush on level 13. But he's got a 3-0 boomerang. He's got some of these guys right here, some of these wizards, and in general he's probably not going to lose versus one of those regrow rushes. On the other hand, I do see a slight weakness in his defense, which I'm going to try and exploit, which is regrow ceramics. So we're sending a couple of regrow ceramics here, just like 5 or 6, and that's going to cause, hopefully, some damage. I don't know how much, but at least hopefully we'll get through just a couple of them. And sadly we were not able to kill him, so you know he's got a pretty reasonable defense. That spike factor did a lot better than what I thought. So here, let me, okay, my computer almost wanted to restart itself right now. That was close. So we got quite a bit of money here in general. We have a lot of money. And here's one thing, the good thing about the dart monkeys, guys, is we can just upgrade to a Super Monkey Fan Club. Yeah, so now we got a Super Monkey Fan Club that we can use whenever we want, and Super Monkey Fan Club is extremely awesome. So he's pretty much just wasting all his money on these ceramics. Those guys are just not good in general. He just wasted a bunch of money buying all those ceramics. I have quite a bit of money here, and also I'm just going to buy Bloon Impact, which should pretty much own all the ceramics from now on. And now we'll get a Super Monkey Fan Club actually reasonably soon here. We can actually get this back, and these 4-2 cannons will actually do quite a bit of awesomeness. And what I can do is, if I ever run into any problems, what I can do is I can just sell this dart monkey right here and actually rebuy him. But we're actually not. It seems like we'd actually destroy all these regrow ceramics. He's wasting all his money. He sold everything, and that was just not good by him. So we'll just send out a Moab and actually win. Actually, we'll just send out a couple of regrow ceramics and we'll just win. Doesn't really matter. All that stuff will actually kill him. So in general, we just won the game, guys. So that was pretty awesome. That's how you survive with these beginning towers in general. And that was a GG by him. Yep. Victorious. Nice. So we sent out a few too many ceramics, regrow ceramics. He was kind of just underestimating my dart monkeys in general. So we'll play another quick battle. We'll play an assault here again. I'm not going to play any defense modes with these beginning towers because I feel like you should probably start with assault and get some medallions and stuff going. They're a lot faster games before you start playing defense. You want to get all your towers up to 2-4, up to 4th upgraded towers, 4th tier, before you start doing stuff like that. So this guy is a medium level player. This is kind of the level player that people kind of have problems beating when they're kind of a noob. So we'll start off with these 4 towers again, and pretty much do the exact same thing. So we're going to start off with Bloon economy, no farms. Well, I guess you can't get farms anyways. I kind of forgot about that. I kind of just assumed that everybody has farms, but not everybody has farms. You can't get them until you get 500 battle score. So on this level, we're going to get a tack shooter to start. And I kind of like that we're playing quite a few different levels. Kind of interesting. So we got tack shooter here. We'll get, doesn't really matter where you put him, just put him in a corner. Obviously, corner tack shooters are the best thing to do. Some people like to put him like somewhere like here. I don't really like that. I like putting them in a corner, like as close as possible to the path as I can. And some people like moving away just a little bit. I don't know why they like to do that, but they like to. I don't really understand the difference, but I just like to do it this way. And now, like I said, it doesn't really matter. You can put one here, you can put one here, you can just put them in the corners. And in general, what you want to do is actually, instead of putting tack shooters in totally different spots all the time, so like putting like one here, one here, one here, what I do recommend doing is actually putting tack shooters kind of close to each other. So I kind of forgot to send out balloons, guys. For whatever reason, I was just talking about tack shooters a little bit too much. You want to start sending out balloons as fast as possible, just like usual. So we've got the red balloons coming. I'm actually going to build one more tack shooter here, and I think those 2 tack shooters, even though it's a 0-0 tack shooter, will take out all those reds. That one tack shooter here is doing just enough damage to actually help me out quite a bit. So don't be worried to spend your money. You can spend your money on tack shooters as much as you want, but what I do recommend is make sure you can try and send out as many balloons as possible, at least in the very, 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 very beginning. As much as possible in the beginning here. So, like I said, we're going to actually go for the same strategy we did, I think, the very first game, where, okay, he's got blues and pinks coming out. So I'm actually going to get 2 of these tack shooters up, and those will take out all the pinks. We lost a few lives here, but it's not too big of a deal. Like I said, guys, don't worry about lives too much in the beginning here. It's more for the end game lives lost. So we got quite a bit of economy. As I said, we have 389. This guy's not getting very much economy, and what we're going to do is we're going to go for a giant attack on probably level 12 or 13. So I'm going to try that attack again, and we're going to see what actually happens. I think for the most part we will be okay if we go for a giant attack on level 13. So for now we're going to stop at 2.5 minutes for economy. That's the plan. Even if we're only at 400, we're going to stop. Don't go too much because you won't get your money back, at least for the rush. And that's one thing you have to think about during the game. You have to think, when is it the best time to actually stop? And it's kind of confusing on when the best time to stop is. So like I say, just most of the time when you're facing a good player, you want to go a little bit later, and when you're facing a bad player, stop a little bit earlier. So now what I'm going to do is, because he's sending out mostly blues, and he's probably going to send out greens versus me as well, I'm actually going to get a cannon. So I'm going to put a cannon here, and we'll put it on first, I guess. And now he's sending out black balloons as well. And of course we lost a few lives here, but the tack shooters will actually help defend versus all these blacks. So I did completely stop with my economy for now, and we're just going to start saving up some money. So I'm actually going to get one more tack shooter, another 3-0 tack shooter to help stop all these blacks and all these random balloons that might actually start getting through. This cannon, you might think it's completely useless, but if you ever start sending out regrow yellows or anything like that, upgrade it to a 3-0, nothing will get by. So that's pretty much the plan here. You might think it's a weird spot for this cannon. I honestly just put it down as fast as possible because I really did not think about what I wanted to do with my cannon. I kind of wanted just to kill these green balloons, but then I was thinking, should I put it on farther over here and put it on close, or just leave it as it is? And I was just kind of confused in general. So 3-0 tack shooters, definitely solid. And now we have to worry about camo balloons. So we're going to start saving up our money, but we still have to worry about camo balloons. So what I'm going to do is a couple dart monkeys. We're going to get 3 dart monkeys for camo balloons. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Don't forget about the second upgrade, because it does not have camo detection until you get the second upgrade. We're going to get at least 3 of those, and also remember, always get your sniper. Get your sniper. So we got 1 and 1, 2, and now we have a camo detection sniper, which is not really awesome versus any like sort of camo pinks or anything, but it's really awesome versus strong camos. For example, camo rainbows or something. Because camo rainbows every time it gets shot by that sniper, it'll get popped down into a ridiculously low thing. Now he does not have any camo detection, so I'm actually going to send out a few camo pinks versus him, and I don't know if that's going to kill him or not. I don't have any more money, though, to actually spend on these. So we did quite a bit of damage to him, and now we're just going to actually regrow rush the crap out of him. Actually, you know, send a couple more camo pinks, actually. He does not have camo detection still with his mortar. And I think we actually won that game with the camos. And he would actually beat me with this regrow rush. He would have beat me, but I beat him to the punch. And like I said, guys, it's really hard to defend versus things like this with this money. So you kind of have to make a decision. Do you want to go for towers, or do you want to go for an attack? So I kind of decided here I was going to go for an attack, and I think that's the best way to go. It's hard to defend with these beginning 4 towers, so you got to go for an attack. So for the most part, you're making your defense weak, but you got to beat the guy to the punch. If you don't beat the guy to the punch, as soon as level 12, as soon as level 13 happens, you're going to lose. That's pretty much how it is. And even though we were actually able to come back our first game, it doesn't always happen like that. You know, when you spend $4,000, $5,000 on an attack, you're usually expecting to lose, because there's not an easy way for you to come back. Hold on 1 second, let me get a drink. My throat's getting a little bit dry. I don't think Coke is probably the best thing to make my throat not dry, especially when I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat. But we will continue on for you guys. And as always, if you guys want to press a like for me, that'd be much, much appreciated. Playing all these live games all in a row, sometimes hard to do. And I think you guys really appreciate it. And it's not like I'm saying, like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever to make battles videos. But it's not exactly like my favoriteest thing in the entire world to do, and to make really, really long live commentaries. No, I'd actually rather like to organize them into kind of like a cool little packet, maybe speed them up, sometimes add music, stuff like that. And here's a pretty big nub, so we should just take this guy out really fast, really easily. This is the kind of guys that you guys probably think are good. When you're like really, really low level, when you have like 5, 10 battle score or something like that, you're like, oh god, this guy's got 300. What are we going to do versus him? And in general, you're going to see how easily we're actually going to rock this guy. If he somehow beats me, I'd be super ridiculously sad and depressed at the same time. So, round 1. Okay, so what are you going to do here? Well, on the rail, you can't really, there's not really too many good texture spots, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to start with a cannon. Kind of weird. You can start off with a tack shooter if you feel like it. So let me tell you that much right now. You can start off with a tack shooter if you feel like it. But for right now, I'm going to start off with a cannon and see if he sends out balloons versus me. If he does send out balloons versus me, I could upgrade my cannon. Or if he doesn't, I'm actually going to get a tack shooter. So it might sound a little bit weird, but that's the way I roll. I roll with weirdness. I make my own decisions. So he started sending out a few balloons, but not very much. I'm actually going to get a tack shooter pretty soon here. My cannon will actually defend for quite a while, but why not spend the money? We're not going to ever spend it otherwise. Just got a second upgraded tack shooter. We're just going to keep sending out these red balloons and hopefully overrun him just a little bit and do some damage, but we do not, because he does not have any farms yet, and he just goes for a 2-3 boomerang really fast. Now the thing about that, going for a 2-3 boomerang really fast, is because it kind of hurts your economy. He did not send out very many balloons versus me, and he doesn't have any farms. So in general, we probably have a way better economy than him, and holy crap, stop trying to tell me to restart my computer. I don't want to restart it yet. Okay, sorry. And it's actually my laptop that wants to restart, and I don't really pay attention to that too much. So hopefully it doesn't accidentally restart on me. But I said postpone, so it better postpone for me. So now we got a bunch of red balloons coming out, and a couple of green and blues and everything like that. And your tack shooter will take down pretty much everything that isn't grouped together really, really crazily like these reds and the blues. My cannon does. So in general, look, this is a pretty good combo, guys. The cannon shoots off, the cannon explodes all these big groups of balloons, and the tack shooter takes out everything else. And I don't even have a highly upgraded tack shooter yet. I will get a highly upgraded tack shooter now. I got a 3-0 tack shooter, and the 3-0 tack shooter is going to help out quite a bit. And the weird thing about this spot right here is, you notice my tack shooter does not have very much range, right guys? But what we can do is just get one range upgrade, and if we want, we can get the second range upgrade. But for right now, I think one range upgrade is just enough to hit all of these rails and everything. If you notice, I put it in the middle there for a reason. Even though it didn't have the range at the moment, it still does have a pretty darn good range. Now this guy, oh my goodness, what is he doing? Did he seriously just hit a 0-3 spike factory? That is not a good idea, guys. Don't do that. That beats, or what was it, a 0-2? I don't even know what the heck that was, to be honest. Okay, so I don't know what kind of tack shooter he had. It looks like a 0-3 or a 1-3 or something like that, the one that pops Moabs really easily, but then it got downgraded for some reason. And now we have a 2-2 spike factory, I believe. That's okay, don't worry about it. So, let me just talk about something random for a second here, guys. For the past like 3 days, I've actually been studying quite a bit, and I have not been able to make any videos. I've been quite busy in general, and that's totally okay. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to make any battles videos or anything like that, but I've been studying for my test. I had a microbial pathogens test, which was actually a pretty hard test, but I like the class in general, and I like the teacher. He's pretty cool in general, and he teaches me some really cool things, so in general, I really like him. But that's why I have not been able to make any videos, and hopefully today I'll make a couple videos for you guys, and you guys will be happy again. But what I have right now is I'm actually just going to get 800 economy, and I should not go this much economy, because I'm going to totally kill him very early. But I'm just kind of doing it for fun. So, like I said, guys, 2.5 minutes before your attack, that's when you stop. So I stopped at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so the best time for me to attack would actually be 4.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, around 6 minutes. But I'm probably just going to see what kind of weaknesses he has, and I can attack at any moment. But my max economy, like I said, will be right around 6 minutes. Okay, so we find... Oh, we didn't lose a life. Maybe we did. Maybe. Yep, we lost 2 lives. That's okay. We still are doing fairly well, so now it's time to actually get some upgrades here. So I'm actually going to get a 4-2 cannon. Wow, I got a 4-2 cannon, so nothing's going to kill me balloon-wise with a 4-2 cannon up fairly soon. Level 13, okay, that's possible. Level 13 can kill a 4-2 cannon. But the one thing you do want to watch out for, guys, guess what? Like I always say, around level 9 or so, around 9 or 10, start getting your defense ready for camo balloons. And in general, not a crazy amount of camo balloons, but at least some camo balloon detection. It'll stop him from trying to send out camo balloons. Or if he does, you can probably destroy them pretty easily. So what we're going to do is make sure you put them in the right spot, you know, targeting-wise. I have not really made a targeting video yet. I probably will soon. But you want to get 2-3 dart monkeys. So we got 2-3 dart monkeys there. And you also, of course, don't forget it, guys, a 1-2 sniper. At least one. You can go with more snipers if you want, but at least one. And then I think a solid couple dart monkeys here, and as well what I can do is, just in case, I'm actually going to get one more catapult monkey, and I'm putting him on last. And I'm doing that because catapult monkeys shoot extremely long shots that actually go through extremely long pathways, and it goes completely straight, so that's a really good spot for this catapult monkey. Now in general, I don't know what the frick would kill him at the moment. He's got a lot of spike factories. I think just saving up for a giant attack of some sort of zebras or something like that will actually kill him. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until I get quite a bit of money. I'm just going to send out quite a bit of zebras or something that's kind of low level, but send out quite a few balloons all at once. And that's the weakness of spike factories, is lots and lots of balloons that are low level. Not extremely low level like yellows. Like yellows, they can pop all the yellows. But something like zebras, you're not going to stop him. The only problem is boomerangs here. His boomerang is reasonably strong and can probably take out quite a few of these balloons that aren't getting popped by the spike factory. But I think it's time. We got $10,000. So we're actually going to use the hotkey here. I think it's shift. It's just 8. So we got 8 hotkey for zebra. We're just going to keep sending out lots and lots of zebra balloons. And then we're actually going to finish it off with some regrow zebras. So we're popping all those guys, all the spikes with the zebras. And now I'm going to send out some regrow zebras in combination with that. And that in general is really hard to kill with spike factories and boomerangs in general. And that should be an easy win for us to send out lots and lots of balloons versus spike factories. He probably thought that was a pretty good defense. It wasn't. So I think we're actually going to end the live commentary there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed on learning how to beat some pretty reasonably good players with just the beginning towers. And like I said, guys, if you're having a bunch of problems with getting kind of far, you might want to think about spending all your medallions and getting some level 4 upgraded towers. For example, cannons first, maybe tack shooters, and then dart monkeys probably third. But I think the first thing to do with your medallions, guys, is first always buy a boomerang. That's my the best advice I could do to a new player: buy a boomerang, use them more than any of these other towers here. But if I had to say, you have to get rid of a tower and get a boomerang instead, it's probably got to be the dart monkey. Or, I don't know. It's kind of tough to say, because if you just add boomerangs to something like that, you're kind of getting rid of some of your camo detection. So you might actually have to just substitute your boomerang for a tack shooter. And you're going to have to, instead of starting off the tack shooter, go with the boomerang. But that's really all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And as always, like I said, if you want to press like for me, much appreciated. If you haven't subbed yet, please do that. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.